Hey, so friends, it's your girl K Charles. Welcome to K Charles Couture sewing page. If you're brand new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos that I'm going to be posting for you. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get those alarms when I do post a new video. Listen, welcome to Vlogmas with K Charles Couture. And we are starting Vlogmas off right. I have a holiday party to go to next week, and I did a prom dress, I want to say last year, for a client who decided to go a different direction. So I said, you know what, let me take that dress and see if I can turn it from prom no to a holiday slay. What do I mean by that? Stay tuned and you'll find out. But what I did on Sunday was I actually deconstructed the dress. I took the bodice apart from the skirt, and now what we're doing tonight is we're going to make sure that the skirt actually fits me, because it is bigger, because she was a little larger in the hip and the bump area. So we're going to adjust those, and we're also going to make it shorter. Now again, this was a prom dress, so it was floor length and it had a nice little train to it. I don't need all that for a holiday party. So we're going to cut it short. We're going to keep the train attached to it, but of course the train is not going to trail the floor, but it may just hit the floor a little bit on the back, but probably not too much, but there will be a nice little train. So that is what we're doing tonight. So you know my motto. Go ahead and grab your scissors and grab your material, and let's begin. Okay, so first things first, we got to make new darts in the front of our skirt and the back of our skirt. You also want to do the same thing for the lining as well. Now, sometimes I don't do the lining, but we're going to do it like if we were doing it for a client. So you want to make sure you make new darts in the front and the back of the skirt, and then you also want to do it for your lining. Now look how well this skirt is fitting me now that I have the new darts attached to it. I see a little bulkiness right here in the front, but I probably end up having to make either the darts a little longer, or I may just have to hand sew it down. But I do love the way that it's fitting. I probably go in and put another seam in there just a little tighter, just to make sure that it's giving me the look that I want. As you can see, I have the clips on the back. That is where the zipper will be once I reattach it. Now, the next thing I need to do is we got to cut this, because remember I told y'all, see, it's floor length and it's the tail, but I don't need it that long. So we're going to go ahead and get this down so we can cut it. And of course, you got to make sure that you can move in it. Okay, it's a holiday party. You're going to want to dance a little bit. So move around in it to see, make sure it's fitting like you want it to fit. If you don't learn anything else from me, from my tutorials, make sure that you try on your clothes. Always try on your clothes before you put final stitches in. Right now, I just have some basting stitches on the side seams, but you want to make sure that you try it on. So let's go ahead, take this off. We're going to make it shorter. And like I said, I put the permanent seam, and I'll probably go in just a little bit. Okay, now that I have my permanent stitches in my bottom of the skirt, we're going to go ahead and cut it to the length that I want it to be. Now I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to eyeball what I have. And I'm going to do it the most easiest way possible so we don't have to go through a whole lot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the dress inside out. I'm going to put it on its side so that you see the whole front of the dress and you'll see the tail of the dress. You can see that. And I'm just going to go up probably about 4 or 5 inches or so. And I'm just going to cut straight from the front of the dress all the way to the back of the dress where the tail is. Make it nice and simple. Voila! Look how good that looks. Let's flip it inside out so that we can actually see what it looks like. Now that I got it laid down, you can see that it's much shorter in the front. I still have my tail piece, which is what I want. Now, I don't know if this is the exact length that I want it to be. So y'all know what we got to do. That's right. Go ahead. Try it on. I'll be back. Okay, now I got the skirt on and it looks good. But guess what? It still ain't short enough. This is why I always tell you, make sure you try on your stuff in between. That way you know you got it right. Now, like I said, I do like the way it's looking. It's definitely giving me the vibe that I wanted. But we're going to go a little shorter. So let me grab some clips. And we're going to clip it so I know exactly how short I need it to be. So when I make the next cut, it will be the final cut. So you can see here I'm just clipping the bottom of the skirt up to the length where I want it to be. Because y'all know I'm about to get these new shoes and I got to have my shoes being seen. So, and I wanted the dress to be about knee length. So this like is going to be perfect right here. So it looks like I need to go up about another 3 inches on the skirt. Let's make it happen. And just like we did it the first time, we're going to do the same process. We're going to turn it on its side and we're going to go ahead and make the cut from the front of the dress to the back of the tail to the length that I want. And I'm just removing the clip so I know exactly where I need to cut it at. Okay, now that I have it the length that I want it to be, let's go ahead and start whacking off some of these beads so that I can put in the final stitch on the side seams down at the bottom of the dress. Now, when I did the side seams at the top, I only did the top part because I wasn't sure how much material I was going to cut off. And there's no need to make a whole seam if you're going to cut half of it off. So now that I have it the length that I want to be, go ahead and grab your mallet and bang out those beads on the side so they don't come loose and they don't tear apart and you're not losing any of your beading. The easiest way to do it is to bang it with the mallet and then go ahead and sew it. Also, banging those beads out will make it nice and smooth so you don't break any needles. Once you finish using your mallet to bang out those beads, go ahead and give it a good shake because the next thing we're going to do is go over to our sewing machine so that we can sew down our final stitches on our side seams. So now that we have all our seams in permanently and the dress fits the skirt fits wonderfully, let's go ahead and cut out all of this seam allowance. Now normally you can use a serger or you can do a zigzag stitch to end it, but this is going to be lined, so we're not going to be concerned about that. We're just going to cut out that excess. I'm also going to be cutting out the darts because again, this skirt was way big for me, so the darts are also big and it's going to create like a bulk in the front of the dress, and of course we don't want that, so we're going to get rid of all of this excess seam allowance. Now I have the skirt laid out and everything looks good. I love the way it's looking. I think it's going to fit wonderfully. Now I'm also looking at the seam allowance on the bottom for my hem. Now what I do know I'm going to do is I'm just probably going to hand sew the bottom of the dress for the hem, because I don't feel like beating out all those beads so that I can run it through the sewing machine. It won't take me long to hand sew it. I can sit and watch a movie or something while I'm hand sewing it. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure, because if you do something for one thing, you got to do it for the next one. We want to make sure that our lining is the same length as the dress or as the skirt piece. So I'm going to use my skirt as a pattern for the lining. Now, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before when I was cutting it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the lining inside out. I'm going to put it on its side, and I'm going to put it on underneath of the skirt. You'll see what I mean. Turn it inside out, lay it on its side, and I'm going to put the skirt on top. Then I can use the skirt, like I said, as a pattern piece to cut off the excess lining that I'm not going to need. Now everything looks good and I am pleased at the results. So let's go ahead and shake all this excess beading off of the material and off of the lining. Give it a good shake, and we're just going to straighten up and clean up a little bit. Because while I was down there on the floor, I felt like my knees were getting cut or something from those beading. So we're just going to do a little cleanup here. Hey family, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial tonight. Listen, we got a lot done, and in fact, we got a lot more than I thought we were going to get done. Tonight, we were able to cut the dress so it's the length that I want it to be. Once I hem it, which I'm going to do by hand, I'll probably just sit down at the TV and then hand sew it so that I make sure that the hem is nice and crisp, because I don't want it to be falling out, and I don't even want to try to go back into my sewing machine, because having to beat those beads out, it's a lot of work, and I don't want to miss any of the beads or have a space at the bottom. So I'm just going to hand sew my hem, which would be okay, because like I said, I could sit down and watch a movie or something and just hand sew it as I'm, watching a movie. Another thing we were able to do was I was able to cut it, add my new darts, and cut my sides so that it would fit me. So now the dress actually fits me. There was a little bulkiness in the front, but I'm not concerned about that too much. Once I actually have the dress constructed together and the weight of it is pulling, I think that gathering and that bulkiness will go away. If it don't, I'll just hand sew it so that it will go away. No one will ever even know. I'll just make that darts in the front a little longer if I have to. What else did we get done tonight? If you didn't learn anything from me tonight, I hope you learned to try on your gown. If you're making a holiday dress, please, 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 I beg of you to try on your dress. You will see in that video, I tried that skirt piece on multiple times. I had to go back in there and beat those beads out one more time, put another seam in it, try the dress on again to make sure it's fitting the way I want it to fit. Now it fits like I want it to fit. So I was able to go through there and cut all that seam allowance out. I'm going to add the lining to it tomorrow, and then we'll reattach the bodice piece to the skirt. That's going to be it. And the dress is going to be done. My dress is done for the holiday party. I'm still trying to debate if I'm going to use the bow tie as a little choker piece. I don't know. I'm thinking probably against that, but we'll see. It might be cute once I have the dress fully put together. we'll try it on and play with it a little bit and see. If not, it'll just probably go in the trash with the rest of the stuff. Another thing that I wanted you to learn from me tonight is when you are working with sequins or some type of beaded material, appliques or whatever, and you have to sew them, your mallet is going to be your best friend. You see this right here? This is going to be your best friend. When I say beat those beads, they didn't break, they didn't pop, the strings didn't pop, and I was able to sew right through it. Now, there is going to be a few times where you're going to break a needle. I'm not saying that it works perfectly all the time, but I only lost 2 needles tonight. Just imagine if I hadn't used my mallet and broke those beads up, it would be a lot more than 2 needles. So I lost two needles tonight, which is fine because guess what? The majority of the sewing part is done. It's done. So the dress is going to be on me tomorrow night. Thursday we'll definitely have I'll definitely show you me in the dress, fully in the dress, and then we can talk about hair options and things like that. See, once you have created something, now you go on to styling. The next thing I need to do as far as my styling is concerned, which because I had to cut a lot of that dress out, which means I left a lot of pieces, a lot of extra fabric pieces, is great because I can take those with me to the shoe store because guess what? Your girl gotta buy some new shoes. She gotta get some. I gotta get some cute shoes to go with that dress. I gotta get some cute shoes and find me a cute little evening bag to go with that dress. Because it's gonna be fire. And I'm really leaning towards like a brown satin shoe. Maybe with a little bow or something on it. I don't know. But we're gonna see. Y'all know I'm gonna take you with me anyway to accessorize this dress once it's put together. But I am really impressed with the progress that I made tonight. I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell because I'm telling you, you don't want to miss one single day of Vlogmas. I will be back here tomorrow. Same time, same place with a brand new video. And I'm not even going to tell you what we talk. Tomorrow, I will tell you what we're going to talk about. I wasn't going to tell y'all, but I'm going to tell you. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about different patterns, beginner friendly, all the way up to your advanced patterns that you can use to make your holiday wear. Because I know people, like, it's that time of year. People are having parties, they're having get-togethers, you have your work parties, all those things. And you want to be cute, but you want to be custom. I know I like to be custom. Because that means when I go into that party, nobody has on my dress. It's nothing worse than when you go into a party and somebody has on the same dress you have on and then you got to play that who wore it best game. Ain't nobody going to be playing that game with me, baby. Because ain't nobody going to have on what I got on. So that's what I'm trying to show y'all. Stick with me. We're going to have a good time. Like I said, we got plenty of good times in here. Tomorrow, I'll be back. And like I said, I'm going to show you some different patterns where you can beginner friendly all the way to advanced patterns that you can use to make really cute dresses for the holiday. I'm going to show you one pattern that I've had so long. In fact, it was the very first dress pattern I ever had. I made that dress probably 15 years ago, maybe even longer than that. I know I was still married at the time, but I made the dress the first time in a purple satin. And then the second time I did it in a black stretch velour. And I'm glad both. I don't have the purple dress anymore, but I do still have the black dress, which I wore recently when I went to go see Michelle Obama on stage. Listen, when I tell you that you can make your clothes and they can last for years and years and years, they can last years and years and years if you have good quality. That's why I always tell people, sewing isn't just about putting something together and throwing it on. You want to have quality work so that it will last for a very long time. Now, you may change, so the custom fit may not be as custom as it was when you first made it, but the dress will still be there and it's good quality. I'm telling you, there are people at the Goodwill right now who has kCharlescouture outfits and stuff on that I can no longer fit, but the quality is still good where I was able to give it to someone else. That's all I'm saying. Just make sure you have quality work. Not quantity, quality. So anywho, that's all I got for y'all tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I will see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's going to be Wednesday. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to talk about other dress options that you have. And we'll do some other good things too. So y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all. Peace out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to click that notification bell. Because you do not want to miss one single day of Vlogmas with kCharlescouture. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Peace.